Hello, welcome to another episode of New Gameplay Today. I'm your host, Jeff Cork, joined today by Leo Vader.
I am happy to be here.
I'm happy that you're here. And Suriel Vasquez, it seems like only yesterday we were talking about, what are we looking at?
Curse of Osiris, the new Destiny 2 expansion that will be hitting next month.
It only seems like yesterday that we were looking at Curse of Osiris, the new Destiny 2 expansion that will be hitting next month. So what are we looking at here, specifically?
So, last time we showed off some of this area when we played the first mission. Well, it wasn't us, it was a developer. We should note that it is once again a developer playing.
Okay.
They're doing great.
Yeah, they're shooting the things the way they need to be shot. So this new area, this will be the sort of the open space that you'll be able to access once you get Curse of Osiris. It's on Mercury. And right now we are headed for the new the new Lost Sector, which is, if you've played Destiny 2, it's these little hidden dungeons that you can find around the map.
Okay.
Which we were able to find during the event. But sort of they're, retreading their path. I think at this point they are trying to find it themselves, which is always interesting to see how developers go back and search for their own secrets.
Pretend.
Yeah.
Oh, wherever could it be?
Oh, we'll have to look. Like those markings there, those little half circles on the stone there. That's what tells you there's one nearby. So as you can see, we're going to enter the new Lost Sector.
All right. Were you scared when you saw this for the first time?
Be honest.
I was terrified.
Okay.
But I'm constantly terrified of everything. It's like new sights and sounds really scare me. So,
Boo!
Yeah, Leo, I have to leave now.
That's fair.
But anyway, I think one of the things about Lost Sectors was slightly disappointing is that the only reason you ever redid them was in faction rallies, which is you kind of just did them for grinding loot and stuff, and they never felt like they were that substantial.
Yeah.
This feels slightly more substantial. It takes a little bit longer to do this one, and you can see I think the spaces are a little larger this time around. But overall, I enjoyed doing this Lost Sector. I'm not sure if I'll go back and do it multiple times.
See, that's the question, though, is that it's designed for you to go back and do it multiple times, right? So
I think these are definitely designed to be repeated. But like in base Destiny, you didn't have like a huge incentive for doing them. But like I said, during faction rallies, you were sort of slightly motivated to do them for those tokens.
Yeah.
And sometimes it would be your daily challenge.
Yeah, to go do a Lost Sector so you can get more tokens. And as you can see here, it's slightly more involved in that you have objectives beyond sort of just murdering everyone and murdering the captain.
Why did he jump up there, by the way? That's kind of weird, right?
Sometimes when you want to shoot something, you got to get on top of it.
Yeah, it's kind of a weird mistake for the developer to make.
Standing on a tree limb and cutting it away.
Yeah, cutting a tree as you're standing on top of it.
Oh, well.
I've seen those videos online.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think one of the things I do like about this new sort of the expansion pack is sort of the aesthetic of, like, you see sort of some of the carpets here, some of the they really tie the room together.
Yeah, they're nice.
But also the aesthetic of
they got a new feng shui specialist.
Yeah, exactly.
In the office.
I mean, the Vex are very concerned with sort of destroying the world, but also like making it look nice. They have to make sure everything is in its right place.
It's got a good flow to it.
Yeah. But yeah, I do like the look of, like, the Vex usually have a really good sort of cohesive aesthetic with sort of the squares sort of overlapping into each other, and that mixing with some of Osiris's sort of more Egyptian themed things. And that's the chest you get. So we get a bunch of new stuff.
Yay.
Like legendary engrams.
Legendary engram.
And as you can see, they're a big feature. You still send things to the postmaster when your inventory is full. But yeah, like I enjoy sort of these one-off dungeons. But let's move on to the public event, where you basically take a little bit more advantage of the central area. I know we sort of ran past it when we were doing the Lost Sector earlier. Cork, have you played any Destiny 2?
Wait, a little bit.
A little bit?
Yeah.
Didn't really grab you?
I thought it was okay.
All right, that's fair. I think Destiny's biggest problem is that it is trying very hard to be two games to do different audiences, and I kind of think sort of the game that it is for the first few hours isn't great, and then once you get to the MMO bits, I think it is significantly better. But I can definitely see if you're just looking for like, hey, is this another game by the people who made Halo? I don't know that it really fulfills that niche the way it maybe wants to.
Yeah.
But anyway, this new public event is a little bit more. I think it is my favorite public event they've done in that it feels more involved.
Okay.
but I think that's also puts it in a weird place because public events right now are sort of the most lucrative thing you can do repetitively in Destiny.
They're so much better than the ones in the first Destiny.
Yes, absolutely, and it's better. It's easier to find them.
Yes,
and easier to just coordinate with people. Of like, okay, there's one going on here. I'm just gonna fast travel over here. You join me whenever you want.
That's what it is. To be honest, that's what I've been spending the bulk of my time with Destiny 2 doing is public events.
Yeah, because they're like fun little things that basically drill down into the core of Destiny 2, which is just like shooting things with a goal, right?
Yeah.
And so one of the things that made them repeatable is that they were the shortest, sort of least intensive activity you can just do for rewards. And if you had sort of a fire team medallion on, and you had a higher chance to get exotics, which is sort of the fastest way to level up outside of sort of some of your weekly runs. But right now we're sort of still waiting for it. As you can see, they still use the same system of here's a flag and everything turns dark.
A big part of the Destiny 2 experience is waiting for a public event to start.
Yeah. So that they've kept that alive. You know, they didn't want to mess with greatness. Yeah. They said, you know, fans are really nostalgic for these 3-minute timers, and we're proud to bring them back. But I one of the thing I was saying earlier was that this feels a lot more involved in that there are multiple parts to it.
Okay.
During our time, we did do the heroic version of the event, but no one really knew what we did to trigger it. So this won't be the heroic version, but if you have a keen eye, I'm sure people will pore over this footage to figure out how to do the heroic version. But even without sort of that heroic modifier, you'll see here that there's a lot more to do. So if you played some of the public events from before, it would just be like sit here in this area and shoot things until the timer is over. Or, you know, if you knew how to do the heroic version, you would do some special trick.
Yeah.
Here you're doing a lot more running back and forth. And so you have to grab this little orb and you take it to the other side of the map. And I made this mistake too, but you basically just plant them up there. As you can see up there, the little glowing light on the left there. But I guess it takes this guy a little bit to figure it out, which is again weird because I swear it is not me. This is a developer playing.
Yeah, we're not joking about that.
Is he a developer for Destiny 2? Is my follow-up question.
You know what? I didn't specify that it should be a developer for Destiny 2.
Shigeru Miyamoto's playing.
We are proud to bring you Shigeru Miyamoto playing Destiny 2. You wouldn't think it, but he's a big fan. He just loves all the blood and guts.
Yep, absolutely.
You can see the inspiration.
Yeah,
in his games.
Yeah. He's using a Merciless, which I like that gun a lot.
Yeah.
So I assume this new planet is, in general, a higher level than any of the planets in the base game? Like, you kind of got to have a higher power level to...
I think one of the things that Destiny is really weird about is sort of making that stuff kind of streamlined across the board. So I want to say that as long as you are able to get here, which I'm not sure if you can enter it, because you have to beat the main game in order to access the Curse of Osiris campaign, but I'm not sure what level you have to be to enter this area. But I think whatever level you can be to enter this area, I think you can just play. Because I think even if you're level 5, you can just start doing public events with people who are level 20 and still contribute.
True.
So that stuff might be a little more evened out. So
without looking at the text on the upper left-hand screen, and I will know, Suriel.
Okay.
Tell me, story-wise, what are you accomplishing with these little weird tasks with the balls? Like, what are you trying to do? I'm
putting them in the locks where they belong.
All right, follow-up question. Why, and what are they?
I imagine the Vex don't want you to do that, I'm not a fan of the Vex. I'm going to throw it out there.
Yep.
I love ruining their days.
Yeah.
So anything I can do to just get one over on those dastardly Vex, I am willing to do.
Take that, he says.
But as you can see, like, we are moving across this map.
Yeah, that's cool.
We're not just staying in the same area and shooting guys for, however much
Yeah,
time.
initially when you said, you do a lot more stuff, you were going back and forth. I was like, okay. But now, a new area.
Yeah, so they're taking the scenic route, taking a look at the horizon. So there are multiple bad guys. And
That's cool.
Some of the public events on Earth, there was one where you chased sort of a team of fallen across the map. But that was just like, go here, and shoot things.
Right.
It was do sort of the same activity over and over.
Yeah.
So there are new ones on Earth, too?
I don't know if I don't think they're adding new ones on Earth, but I'm just using it as a comparison of like, this feels a lot more sort of like involved and sort of more intricate than you have had before. But in addition to some of this public event stuff, there's also going to be a couple of other activities. So there's in the story mode, and I think sort of during some of your other adventures, you'll venture into the Infinite Forest, which is sort of a new thing that they're touting with this expansion as being sort of a more repeatable thing you can do. Where,
Okay.
So the Vex have figured out time travel, and they're running a simulation of like, here's every possible scenario this way could go. So we're gonna just try to like figure out the right one so we can just destroy humanity. So when you venture into that Infinite Forest, you'll have sort of procedurally generated areas where you basically you run into an area and that'll be a new encounter that you'll be fighting different enemies every time, and then you'll see where the door, you'll have to kill enemies, open a door, and then the next area will be completely different.
So aren't you essentially helping the Vex though by showing them all the ways that it doesn't work?
Yeah, don't try this one.
But this one is like super cool is the difference, and like this
Also,
could be the one that kills them, you know.
Okay, and it's
You
also
never
Edge
know.
of Tomorrow, basically, right?
Yes.
We're being honest.
A little bit, yeah.
All right.
So you can run that multiple times, and like it'll be different every time. In the story missions we played, it definitely seemed like people were getting very different results.
Okay, now when you say it, are you talking about just the scenario itself and like the configuration of the enemies, or like the actual geometry of that level?
I think both of those differ. So I think you'll be getting sort of. I don't think it's like 100% procedurally generated, but I think you'll be getting, okay, here's this iteration of the arena, and then here's these kinds of enemies. So you'll be saying like, here's the small arena with a bunch of Cabal in it, or here's the medium-sized arena, or here's the one with like multiple platforms that you can hop around, and that's more of like a high. You're sort of in the air a little bit more often with the Vex.
Right. Any of that is welcome though for like a grindy kind of game. Is like, after a while, your brain is just kind of numb.
Right.
And any kind of new thing.
Right. As far as I know, it is sort of just like, here's a story mission thing where you can replay it.
Yeah.
And, you know, they also have 2 new strikes that involve those Infinite Forests. And with this expansion, they're also adding heroic strikes, which people have been asking for. They're sort of like a major part of Destiny 1's sort of end game of just having these higher level strikes, which is pretty cool. So they definitely are sort of using that to their full advantage of giving you a new repeatable activity that is higher level that you can sort of use to take advantage of those Infinite Forests.
Are you not seeing this? This guy's real big, Suriel.
I mean, he's a Vexgate Lord. You know, he's got to represent. Yeah, he's got to be the boss.
Yeah.
So we're coming up on the end of this public event, which again, like this is taking longer than most other public events, which is, it's going to be interesting. I'm curious to see how they sort of manage the rewards, because if this is the longest a public event is, and it still offers the same rewards as other ones, I wonder how incentivized people will be to repeat them versus just doing the shorter ones on Earth and stuff like that.
You run the risk too of like someone stumbling into one of these and being like, oh crap, I didn't realize it was going to be this long. I gotta go.
Exactly.
Do some other things.
But yeah, I definitely overall sort of enjoyed a lot of the changes they're making to the repeatable parts of Destiny 1 or Destiny 2. Because right now I'm definitely sort of falling out as of mid-November when this goes up.
Yeah.
I don't feel super incentivized to play the game right now.
Yeah.
But I'm hoping that once the expansion hits, there'll be more stuff to do. This guy's almost dead.
That's a critically important thing for a game like this, is more stuff to do.
Yeah. I don't think they're all the way there yet. I think it's going to take a little while before they're at the point where people are sort of as happy with it as they were with...
Is the developer teabagging the boss right now?
He absolutely is, Leo. Thank you for noticing.
All right. We can go ahead and skip this expansion when it comes out.
Yeah, make sure to completely disregard anything.
Yeah, if you're a gross guy, maybe this would be your thing. But
they just give you 2 boxes, dude.
Yeah.
That's how they manage the rewards.
Yeah, there you go. And
I'm back in.
I'm sure they'll give you an exotic engram every time.
Oh, and it fails to
No,
connect
they
to the
probably
servers? I'm here, dude.
Yeah.
I'm here for this.
So yeah, that's more of Curse of Osiris. We'll have a little bit more to show off soon.
You're kidding me. There's even more to show off?
There's absolutely more to show off, Cork.
Did you record every living moment while you were here?
Oh, absolutely.
Destiny event? Okay.
Look forward to part 4 where I show you guys the Starbucks I went to and the Cheesecake Factory that I saw and didn't enter.
Fantastic.
You read off the list of key inputs you put in.
Exactly. Yeah.
All right. So stay tuned. Don't let that scare you away.
That's right.
It might be good.
No, there'll be more stuff. I swear.
Okay. Thanks, Leo. And
Thank you,
thanks,
guys.
Suriel.
Thanks for having me.
And thanks for watching. Bye.